Hi, welcome everyone to another edition of the Fans Talk Wrestling Podcast. FTW is a weekly WWE and TNA discussion where fans talk the wrestling world in all of its laughable glory. This is episode 241, recorded on November 18th, 2014 on FTWLive.com. Tonight is our WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view pre-show. With us tonight is Nick. Say hello, Nick.
Merry Christmas, Garvin.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Happy Thanksgiving, Garvin, because Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. So it can't be time for Christmas, assholes.
But that's not what corporate America tells me.
Corporate America tells you the day after the 4th of July starts Christmas. Go fuck yourself.
It doesn't?
Technically, I got my Black Friday deals already in the mail today, so...
Why
Yeah.
Black Fridays.
My name is Garvin. If you're listening live, say hi and leave your thoughts in the comments here on FTWLive.com. On Twitter, use FTWLive, the hashtag FTWLive. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like and make sure to subscribe. We release new videos throughout the week, not just from us, but from members of the FTW community, just like you, just like Deuce, just like Robert Carmichael and Michelle Carmichael-Clark. By the way, they are not related. I know. It's weird. But anyways, today is our WWE Survivor Series pre-show. So we're going to talk Survivor Series. That's it. That's all we're going to talk about. If you want to hear some TNA conversation, we're going to be releasing a secondary podcast this week called Fans Talk TNA. So, yeah, look out for that. It'll be available at some point. So, anyways, we're going to start off with Raw. I made the declaration last week that I was not going to watch Raw because of Grumpy Cat, and I didn't. I fulfilled that promise. Joe, you watched Raw though, right?
I did.
So what happened worth talking about?
Miz and Mizdow hung out with Grumpy Cat and tried to work out a movie deal and shit with him. And I feel that humanity is in a very bad place after that. Whoever thought this was a good idea really needs to jump their ass out of social media and realize that it was a terrible idea. But we did get the formation of the Survivor Series teams. Finally, all the members.
Is Grumpy Cat still popular, or was that just like a thing from 3 years ago? Because it feels like it's just a thing from 3 years ago.
It's still out there. I mean, it hasn't been that long since it started up.
Yeah, I mean, memes are memes, and they'll stick around forever. So Grumpy Cat's still around. Is it funny anymore? Is it all the rage like it used to be? No. But it's still around.
Okay, live chat is telling us that Grumpy Cat was only a bloody year ago. So okay, that's fine. That's fine, Martin.
Well, maybe in the UK it was only a year ago.
It feels like it's been forever. Like, internet things don't last that long for a reason.
No.
You know.
That's right.
To be fair, a year ago in the UK is like 5 across the world. So.
Yeah, I mean, they almost just got the WWE Network, so. So, okay. What else, Joe? What else happened on Raw this week?
What else happened on Raw? Let's see. The Bellas faced each other with Brie Bella dressed up as AJ. That was redonkulous. And Brie beat Nikki, so Nikki kicked her ass, and then AJ kicked both their asses. Setting up the Survivor Series match, or, being that last little boop for trying to get heat for the Survivor Series match. Yeah, there's that.
Okay,
So
this sounds like Raw sucked. Can we skip to the good part, such as Luke Harper is your Intercontinental Champion? I wrote that down. I read that somewhere. That happened, right?
Wait. I have to know. Bree should technically be fired now, right? Because she attacked Nikki?
You'd think.
I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much from WWE in its off-season. I mean, continuity is kind of asking for the moon, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they also backtracked on their, this is going to be another 40-man Rumble year. They stepped it down to 30.
I heard that there's two rumors going on. One that was 30, one that was 40. I'd rather see 30 myself.
I'd rather see 40.
40 just takes too long.
But it's the Rumble. Like the Rumble, if the Rumble was 3 hours long, that would be fine with me.
Yeah, but with 40, it's expected that you'll have a lot of people returning. And it was good when we saw it, because like the last 40 was in Detroit, wasn't it, Joe?
No.
Wasn't that 40?
No, you sat in my living room and watched it, because that was the one with Karma. That was the one where JBL, Cole,
Oh
and King were all in it. So there, I mean, granted, there was a lot of stupid, but I still would like 40, because then you get some of that nostalgia guys and go, oh yeah, I remember that guy, and he's out like 30 seconds later. Like, cool, he got his spot, cool, we're done. Nostalgia, cool. That's about it. Because they're still going to cram a lot of those guys in, even if it's a 30. So other guys are going to get the shaft, like the Rumble that we went to. And we were waiting for number 30, and we're like, it's going to be Christian, it's going to be Christian, it's going to be Christian. And it was like Rey Mysterio, and everybody booed.
No, that was last year.
Or then I'm thinking of Big Show. It was Big Show.
I don't remember who was the last one and the one we went to, but I do know Kevin Nash showed up, Booker T showed up. Or maybe it wasn't Kevin Nash. Booker T showed up, and RVD showed up for sure.
I think Nash did show up, because it was Detroit.
Was it Nash and RVD?
Yeah, RVD always shows up.
Right, that's what it was then. Whatever. We're not. This isn't the Royal Rumble pre-show.
And this is not the drunk episode either. So.
So, let's move on. I did read results sort of, but Luke Harper, your Intercontinental Champion. Can we talk about that? Obviously, you saw it. So, what do you guys think about that? Are you surprised that Luke Harper is your first Wyatt to hold gold?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great worker, so it makes sense. I mean, you figured it was going to be Bray, but I mean, it's not a bad choice. The thing I find more perplexing is Eric Rowan on Team Cena.
Yeah, that is definitely odd for sure. Nick, what do you think? Are you surprised that Luke is the first Wyatt as champion?
Not particularly. Bray never seemed oriented towards gold. Back in NXT, it was Luke Harper and Eric Rowan that won the tag titles. Bray never won anything. I would have expected Harper and Rowan to go for the tag titles again on the main roster, but yeah, I definitely like this turn of events, especially since it changes things up in the IC title picture. Ziggler was starting to get a little stale, I think, as IC champ, especially since he wasn't really doing anything. So, at the very least, we're going to see some good matches out of this.
Personally, I am surprised. I would think that Bray would have been champion first, but Luke Harper is a good champion. I'm definitely, like, as far as not watching Raw but catching something that would have interested me if I saw it. Luke Harper winning the Intercontinental Champion would have been that. That's one thing that I wasn't expecting going into this Raw, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it either. But it definitely opens a new door.
So, Joe, you pointed out that Eric Rowan is now on Team Cena. Why? Did they explain it on TV why that was happening?
No, it was at the very end of the last segment. They got to the point where they brought out Big Show, they brought out Ziggler, and they're like, okay, trying to think of who the other guy on the damn team is. Ziggler.
Well, Sheamus was supposed to be there, but he got hurt.
He got injured. So they get down to the last thing, and what happens? Cesaro's music hits. And Cesaro comes down like he's going to be part of Team Cena. And everyone's like, oh my god. And then He just walks to the other side of the ring, laughing with the Authority.
Yeah.
And Ryback came out. But like who's going to be the last guy? And then all of a sudden, Eric Rowan comes out, and then a big brawl breaks out. And so there's really no reason other than either Renee Young put him up to it because he's got that thing for Renee Young,
or Natalia, or whomever.
He likes boobs.
Yeah.
And so we have no real motivation other than maybe he wants to beat up Harper for some ungodly reason.
It's so weird, man.
Well, Rowan does have the mind of a child, so as Lou points out, it makes perfect sense that he would side with Cena.
Nice. I can't wait for him to be wearing this shirt and eating the Fruity Pebbles.
From the sideline, he's going to be leading the Let's Go Cena chant.
All right. Well, that sounds like a wonderful Raw. I'm glad we talked about it this week. So let's move on to Survivor Series. Again, this is our WWE Survivor Series pre-show. It takes place this Sunday, Survivor Series, that is, November 23rd. On the card right now, we've got Bad News Barrett making his return on the kickoff show. He's not wrestling, from what I understand. He's just going to be there. We do have Fandango wrestling, however, except for they haven't announced who he's facing on the kickoff. The tag team titles will be defended: Stardust and Goldust versus Miz and Mizdow, Los Matadores, and the Usos. There was a traditional Survivor Series match added for the Divas. It's Alicia Fox, Natalya, Naomi, and Emma versus Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla. Then we have Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. AJ versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship, of course. And then we have the main event Survivor Series match, Team Cena versus Team Authority. So that's for Team Cena, we have Cena, Dolph, Big Show, Eric Rowan, and Ryback. Team Authority is Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. So first, before we preview each match, what part of Survivor Series right now, just brief, real brief, are you most looking forward to?
Maybe Wyatt versus Ambrose. That definitely has most interesting story, to me at least. I imagine the main event will be a close contender, just given who's involved. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Wyatt versus Ambrose.
I'm gonna just jump out and say the tag match, the 4-team tag match. You've got Star and Goldust, Miz and Mizdow. I mean, Matadores is a weak link here, but the Usos. That could be some entertaining wrestling, especially if they give them a huge chunk of time.
Yeah. No, I agree. As far as match quality goes, that tag team match should be pretty cool. There's a lot of good teams there. We like to hate on the Los Matadores, but as far as wrestling goes, that Lucha Libre style is nice to have, especially on a spot fest type of match like this could be. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that match overall. As far as what match I'm most looking forward to, it's got to be Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. I know that's what the live chat is saying as well. Yeah, I think that's the only one that is not necessarily built well, not necessarily. Well, again, I don't know how it was built this week on Raw, but the previous week it really wasn't talked about much. The week before that it really wasn't talked about much. So, but on paper, Wyatt versus Ambrose should be pretty fantastic. So, but let's run down the full card and give our predictions for each match. We'll start off with the kickoff match, which is Fandango in his return versus ? So let's throw our predictions both on winner and who this may be. Joe?
Fandango versus Adam Rose. I think Fandango is going to win. I think Adam Rose is going to have an issue with the bunny. And we'll maybe get a little development on that storyline.
I'm going to lean toward the mystery opponent because Fandango is being paired with Rosa Mendez, and Rosa always seems to be the kiss of death for whoever she's managing or valeting for.
Well, she hasn't won a match ever, has she? She won like one her entire career?
No, never a singles match.
Never. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best for Fandango. I think I've always liked Fandango. I think as a wrestler the guy is good. The character fails pretty hard, but it's just because of how they've booked him since he got injured. Really it's how they've booked him overall. I mean, he had the WrestleMania feud with Chris Jericho, and that was pretty much a big fail. That could have been a lot better. But the guy playing Fandango, obviously, he's good. He's good, and I think he can really do this character. But they just really haven't pushed him.
It's not just the booking. I love the wrestler. I love that guy.
Johnny Curtis.
Yeah, Johnny Curtis. He can't do that character.
Johnny Curtis.
Like just the way he tries to force that long drawn out name, and then he just completely fails to apply that to anything else he says. He keeps throwing in the weirdest accents, and he obviously can't dance. So yeah, it's not a great character choice for him.
So you think he failed as Fandango? Himself, he failed, not necessarily the booking.
It's definitely a combination of both. Like he really wasn't booked well after that WrestleMania win, but it was kind of doomed to start with.
I don't know. I think he could have pulled it off with some better booking, some more big wins. It really looked like they were pushing him towards the Intercontinental Championship at one point, and I think if they really extended that and let him go, it would have been cool. But he got hurt, and then after that it was just nothing. So I don't know. Fandango, though, my prediction is a win for Fandango. As far as his opponent goes, Heath Slater or Zack Ryder, I think they'll give him a squash match.
I think he'll be sacrificed to the altar of RVD. RVD or Chris Jericho.
Oh.
And I know Jericho would just hate being paired with Fandango because he hasn't said a single good thing on his podcast about that feud. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be sacrificed to some returning legend.
That's a possibility. But no, I'm going with Adam Rose still.
Live chat is throwing out the idea of maybe an NXT opponent. Do you see anyone from NXT being called up to kick off a pay-per-view?
Sami Zayn could do it.
I don't think so. Not against Fandango.
Breeze?
It would be nice to see Breeze succeed where Fandango failed, but I don't know. I just don't see the likelihood of an NXT guy, considering where they're at building up to their next special event. If it was somebody like Tyson Kidd, somebody who's been showing up on NXT a lot, then maybe I could see that. But just something out of the blue like that, I don't see that as being very likely.
Yeah, I think if you bring up someone from the NXT, they have to win, and yeah, I can't see them promoting the fact that Fandango is going to be in this match, even though they haven't given the opponent yet, even though he doesn't have like a photo card on the website. It's just in the description that he'll be wrestling. I just can't see them bringing him back just to lose again. Oh, but Diva Jill points out, here's an idea. What if Fandango gets sacrificed to the dawn of a new day? You like that idea?
That could be good.
Yeah, definitely. It would just remain to be seen who would be the one wrestling him. But yeah, I could definitely see that.
I'm into that as well. So, all right, but again, as far as the information we have right now, I'm going to go with Fandango winning. Joe, who's your pick again?
I'm going to go with Fandango winning if it's Adam Rose. So, yeah, Fandango wins.
Okay, and Nick, you are going with Fandango losing.
That is correct,
All right.
regardless of his opponent.
All right. Tag team match. Star and Goldust defend against Miz and Mizdow, Los Matadores, and the Usos. Who do you see winning, and do you like this match overall? Nick?
I think Star and Goldust are going to retain. I do like. Well, I do like the match, and I don't like the match because
You can't pick both.
I can and I am. This sort of mashup match doesn't really appeal to me when it's a mishmash of two separate feuds. On a SmackDown, it's okay, but on a pay-per-view, it's pretty lazy. I think Mizdow and Los Matadores are going to be non-factors. They're gonna duke it out with each other, and El Torito and Little Miz are going to fight on the outside. I think it's going to come down to Star and Goldust versus the Usos, and I don't see the Usos taking the titles back here.
Well, I don't think we're going to get a title change, but I think Star and Goldust are going to win. But I think it should be an entertaining match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you'll have Miz and Mizdow against the Matadores. That way, Goldust and you'll have the Dusts team going against the Usos for a good chunk of it. And there's your two feuds, and yeah, they'll mix it up in between, but they don't need to. They could easily break this into two matches, but if they're going to throw in all the chaos, I think it's going to be fine as a four-way. I like tag team wrestling. Let's put like 12 more teams in there and make it like an hour long.
I'm just reading the live chat, and it seems like everyone is, saying like if there is a title change, it will be Miz and Sandow, and I can agree with that. I think overall that would make the most sense. But man, I would really like, as we said last pay-per-view, I'd really like them to split them up and put Damian Sandow above Miz, at least in this feud, and really tell that side of the story. That's what I'm looking forward to. I would much rather see that than them dragging this out further and having Miz and Mizdow as tag team champions. But looking at WWE, wouldn't put it past them.
I'm just hoping that this segues into a debut for the Ascension. That this would turn Star and Goldust face again.
Yeah. And that's something else being talked about in the live chat. I think we've talked about this for a while. There really isn't any solid tag teams right now in WWE. You've got Star and Goldust, you've got Usos, Los Matadores are there, but otherwise you just can't have. You just can't have Star and Goldust versus the Usos every pay-per-view, and this feels almost filler, just the teams that they've put in here. So, seeing like the Ascension get called up, it's been something that's been rumored for a while. So having it happen here would make complete sense, I think.
Especially since they closed out the chapter against Itami.
Right. So, yeah, with all that said, I'm going to go with Star and Goldust retaining. Okay, let's move on from that to Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. Actually, I skipped a match, a very important match, a traditional Survivor Series match. Alicia Fox, Natalya, Naomi, and Emma versus Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla. Who you got, and do you like this match, Joe?
Do I have to pick? Paige. This is just the weirdest conglomeration of teams because, like, Natalia's face, Emma's face, but Alicia Fox and Naomi. I could never tell. When did Alicia Fox was teaming up with
Paige? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Paige stabbed Alicia in the back.
Yeah, but that doesn't instantly make her a face. That just means that she's no longer friends with Paige.
And Paige is, that kind of makes Paige a tweener.
No, Paige has been full on heel.
She fluctuates because just a short time ago she was a face.
I think
It's odd. Is Paige a face? I'm sorry. She's no. She's a heel.
Yeah.
But AJ isn't a face. Is she?
AJ is
a face by default.
AJ's a face. He's a 51% face.
I can't tell alignment with the Divas.
No, the crowd is behind AJ. AJ is getting the face push against Paige. And now Alicia is too. Yeah, it's faces versus heels.
Yeah, either way, I'm going to go with Team Paige. And we'll call it a day, because even though Summer Rae can't wrestle, Layla can't wrestle.
Whoa, hold on. Summer Rae can wrestle.
That is true.
She's gotten better. Okay, I'll give you that then. But Layla, no way.
No.
Layla's dead weight.
Yeah. Real quick, live chat. I've got. Well, this is on-demand listeners as well. I've got a task for you. I want someone to do the research. How many times has Alicia Fox switched allegiances or alignments over like her entire career? It seems like every other week she's something different.
I think it's every time they point a camera at her.
Basically, yeah.
Like they change a camera shot during the match and she switches sides.
I'm sorry, Joe. Who were you picking?
I initially said it was going to be Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla, but there's more actual wrestling talent on the other side. No, fuck it, I'm going with Paige, Team Paige, because it's Paige.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Natalia. I like Emma. Emma seems kind of out of nowhere. Man, I feel like I should have watched Raw now because they would have maybe explained why Emma was just put into this spot.
Well, they've been having this match, minus Alicia and Paige, on
Emma?
their world tour. Yeah.
On the world tour, not on TV though.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
they've been having this match for a while now, between those two three diva teams, and pretty much every time it's always been the faces winning out. So I don't see this ending any differently.
All right. Styles Clash 10 is pointing out that they explained nothing on Raw this week.
Yeah, nothing.
So that's okay. Then I'm rightfully lost with Emma. But overall, I'm gonna have to side with you, Joe. I think the talent is on Team Face here, but Paige. I think Paige has to continue to get some kind of push. So, yeah, whatevs. All right, now moving to a match that we all pretty much want to see, and that is Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. And Nick, I'm guessing you're going to go with Bray Wyatt.
You would guess correctly. I think this feud is going to start off with a strong win for Bray here. I will not hazard a guess as to how that victory is accomplished, but yeah, I think Bray has to get in Ambrose's head more than he already is. So I think they're going to give him the win here.
Joe?
Bray should win, although I think Dean needs an actual clean win to help him. So both guys need the win severely to be considered going somewhere. I like both. I don't think it's going to be the end of the feud, but no, I'm going with Bray.
Live chat is saying Wyatt has to win if this is going to continue in any direction. Win for Bray via shenanigans, and yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I feel you, Joe. Like I think Dean Ambrose needs this win, but look at Bray Wyatt's like pay-per-view record, and it's very, very small. Very there's he's barely won any major match.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt as well. I think if they continue this feud, like Deuce in the live chat says, Bray Wyatt has to win. I want to see this feud continue, and hopefully they actually spotlight it now. It's been kind of like in a background type thing. So yeah, Bray Wyatt wins. Then they can continue this feud, and really this is potentially the first time that we've seen Bray Wyatt by himself. He's not going to have the Wyatt family behind him. Again, potentially, but yeah, I think this would be a really good point to put Bray Wyatt on the map as a singles competitor. So, and Dean Ambrose, if he wins, great. If he doesn't win, great. He's still a good character, a good wrestler, and he still has that momentum because he's got the crowd behind him. So, yeah, I'm fine with Dean Ambrose losing this match.
Yeah, and if you're going to side between, they both need it. There's no argument on that. But if you have to have somebody win, it should be the heel if the program's going to continue.
Yeah.
Because how many times has the heel won and that's been the end of the program? Not very often. It's happened, but not very often.
All right. Moving on from that, we've got the Divas Championship. AJ defends against Nikki Bella. Who you got, Joe?
I'm going with AJ just because of that Vince statement of no total diva is going to ever hold the Divas Championship.
That was proven wrong. Well, at least Stephanie McMahon came out and said that was wrong.
Don't care. I would prefer that doesn't happen so they can cancel that show.
So no one will ever defeat AJ because AJ is the only diva that's not on that show.
Oh, come on. Emma's
Until
not.
Bayley makes it to the main roster and leads the Hug Life movement to victory.
What about Emma?
Well, Emma really hasn't been on TV at all, so that's not saying much.
Emma is a hardened criminal and thus is ineligible for gold.
Look at where she came from.
Yeah.
What do you? That's like pulling up Nathan Jones and not thinking he'd have a criminal record. I am Nathan Jones. Man, that was something that didn't that just fall flat? It looked like it actually had potential and just died.
Well, he was terrible.
Oh, he was terrible, yes, but it had potential. They could have trained him. They started it. They should have. They should have trained him before they put him in the ring.
Yeah.
But
They should have. Yeah, they learned their lesson. Now they force everyone to go through the development center. So.
Yeah, they force everybody through development center now, including people who want to play their video games.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Well, anyways. Nick, who you got?
I think it's gonna be Nikki. I'm counting on Brie to interfere in some fashion. Nikki's going to order her to do so, and Brie's going to look incredibly reluctant and apologetic, but she'll grab AJ's foot or pull Nikki's leg to the rope to break up the pin or something along those lines, and that's going to give Nikki the win. I'm counting on this to be a short title reign for Nikki, though. I think AJ's going to continue to pursue it, and once Brie is no longer bound to be the Bella Butler, then she's going to stab Nikki in the back and cost her the title.
Yeah, and that whole relationship, as far as Brie and Nikki, it was 30 days, starting at the last pay-per-view. So 30 days is up, right? With this pay-per-view, is that how it works? Aren't they 4 weeks apart?
Something like that.
I'm not entirely sure 30 days will have passed by that point, but
I don't know either. I'm guessing it is over. So, on one hand, someone in the live chat can look that up. But on one hand, I would say Nikki Bella wins because why else put her in this match?
Oh, Hell in a Cell was October 26th, so no.
Oh. The one thing WWE is going to follow.
Yeah, it's November 23rd for Survivor Series, so yeah, not quite 30 days.
So, all right, let's talk about a rumor that's going around right now, that AJ is leaving. AJ's contract was up at Survivor or after Survivor Series, so that's a rumor that just started, I think, a few months ago. It's a rumor that goes around all the time, but it does make sense. I mean, if she is leaving, like this would be probably a good time to leave. Um, So if she does leave, then obviously Nikki gets the title. But do you think that the story is Brie helps Nikki win, just so that once the 30 days is over, which would be um, on a Tuesday, that Brie would then challenge Nikki for the title?
I would hope that wouldn't be the motivation for Bree's challenge, if should she choose to challenge. Because that's a self-serving, slimy heel kind of move.
Yeah,
And
but she's a Bella, so she's already slimy.
well, she's a Brian right now, so I mean, you can't turn one of that pair heel.
But it's not like you're calling her Brie Bryan. You don't call her that.
Well, she's not a Bella anymore because Nikki said she's not.
The hell is her? You know, well, I mean, so she's actually a Danielson because that's what's on the marriage certificate.
I guess so.
I would feel better about her if she was a Brie Danielson, not a Brie Bryan.
Yeah, Brie Bryan sounds kind of weird.
So yeah, I don't know.
STD, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Got a bad case of the Brie Bryan.
Fuck the Brie Bryan Blair.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, it's all right for Mexican.
Yeah. I'm with you guys, and I'm with the live chat. I don't want to see Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella, and I definitely don't want to see it for the title. But who else is in position for that? No one. I mean, you could move Paige back up there maybe, but if they give the title to Nikki, which all rumors point to that, and the fact that AJ really put up a new website, ajbrooks.com, using her real now last name. All signs point to AJ leaving. So if that's the case, I mean, you've got to go with Nikki versus Brie. And by gotta go, I mean I've got to go to the bathroom during that entire feud.
The entire feud. He's been in the bathroom for 6 weeks.
God, I think you need to
Shit,
seek
get off the
help,
top.
man.
Just saying, being honest.
No, honey, you got to use the tree. I'm still going. It won't come out. It's dangling.
Going to be airlifted to the hospital, sitting on the can.
It'd be better than watching that feud. So, all right. Well, let's move on from that then. I've said Nikki. Nick, you say Nikki. Joe, you're with AJ.
Yep.
The Survivor Series main event. Team Cena versus Team Authority in the traditional Survivor Series match. It's Team Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Eric Rowan, and Ryback versus Team Authority, which is Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. Your predictions for this match, Joe?
This one's tough because of the stipulation that if Team Authority loses, the Authority's out. So you figure something's going to happen to allow Team Authority to win. But, I mean, then you're killing Cena, Dolph, and Ryback. Big Show's not getting any momentum out of it, and Eric Ronan's right out of left field. So you're gonna kill 3 potential top stars to keep Team Authority in. That's rough. Looking at Team Authority, Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. Harper's intriguing. Henry, we've always been behind. Rusev, pluses and minuses. Kane, who cares? And Rollins with the money. This is tough. I'm going to have to say Team Authority. Just because who's your major heel in the company at that point?
Well, the major heel would then be Heyman and Lesnar if they ever come back. But yeah, it is kind of a hard call. On the one hand, there have been rumors about Steph being pregnant, and this would be, if that's at all true, this would be a good way to move her out of storyline. On the other hand, I don't see them going to that length in order to make that happen. I'm kind of wondering if... Well, first let me ask, do we know... I guess we can never know for sure, but what's your thought about Sheamus's injury? Do you think it's storyline, or do you think it's legit?
It's well-deserved, whatever it is. I actually think it's legit, only because he's a guy. I mean, for some reason he's been a face for a long time, and they keep using him in that role. He's in all the TV commercials now. So I think he's actually injured, or else they would definitely have him in this match.
See, in the match against Big Show, maybe it's a little conspiracy theory-ish, but that almost sounds like Big Show put Sheamus on the shelf in storyline so that he can stab Cena in the back during the match. And I don't see Rowan being much of a factor in the match. I imagine he'll wander off to follow Renee or Butterfly or whichever comes first. So I imagine it'll just be Cena, Dolph, and Ryback versus Team Authority. Maybe if Big Show takes one of them out. So I guess I'm going to go with Team Authority to win this match.
I am going through my feed right now to see if there's any story about Sheamus actually being injured, like legit, and I'm not seeing anything right off the bat. So I'm not sure, Joe.
Yeah, I only remember the announcement on the.
Yeah, it was WWE's announcement. That was the only thing that I saw as well. So, yeah. And I just did a quick perusal of my feed, and there's nothing there. So, yeah, I'm really torn on this match because you've got the story that we want, which is Team Authority losing, and that makes sense because A, it hasn't worked, and B, in storyline, you've got a lot of dysfunction there. You've got Rollins and Kane not being good friends. You've got the potential that Randy Orton could come in and basically wreck house. Rusev and Mark Henry were just opponents like a month ago, as pointed out in the live chat. You've got Luke Harper in there that doesn't necessarily make sense either. So I don't know, man. You've got so much dysfunction on that side that if they wanted an out, they've got it. On the Team Cena side, though, they seem like they're too together. As far as Cena, Dolph, and Big Show being on the same page. Ryback's kind of like that wild card where you don't know what he's going to do. Eric Rowan is there, but I don't. Man, LOL Cena wins is usually what happens here. So let me throw this out. Because I think I'm going to go with the screwy finish. I'm going to go with no team winning. And my thought is Team Cena versus Team Authority basically it starts off well. We have an actual match, but then we get Rowan and Harper in the ring together, and I can't imagine they're going to face off. So here's my scenario, and you tell me what you think. Last man standing at the end of this is Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper, and all they do is they end the match. Bray Wyatt comes out and celebrates because they beat basically the best of the best that night.
Meh.
I don't know if I see Bray Wyatt inserting himself into this storyline, because he has very personal motivations, and I don't know that he would target anybody in that match. He seems to have his sights set on Ambrose, like tunnel vision levels. Yeah, I don't know if I see that. I agree with you in so much that I don't see Harper and Rowan throwing fists at each other, but yeah, I just imagine that they just won't get in the ring with one another. If anything screwy is going to happen, I imagine it's going to be Orton coming down and jacking up everybody.
I also see that as a possibility. But Joe, what do you think about that scenario?
No, I don't think it's plausible.
Okay.
I mean, then it's just like you just got one of those people who are really pro Cena in our Facebook group, or not Facebook group, but the Google Plus group, who don't understand anything, and they're just like, but that's how it has to be because they're the good guys, and Bray Wyatt is gonna win because I like Bray Wyatt and he's the best. So Bray Wyatt is gonna somehow win the match that he's not in because two guys that he was formerly with are there now, and
follow the buzzards.
Hashtag. Yeah, something like that.
Seems legit, though. I mean.
Now that I've alienated part of our Facebook or Google Plus group.
Well, not a man deep. Well, we'll say that.
Yeah, he's legit.
No, I mean, I'm with you. The end would suck, but I wouldn't put it past the WWE to put a crappy ending on what is a free pay-per-view for them. Overall, I can't really see Team Cena losing and Team Authority winning, but I can't see Team Authority winning and Team Cena, or Team Authority losing and Team Cena winning. So to me, it seems like we need that screwy finish to kind of put both in jeopardy in some fashion. So I don't know, man.
And then Alex Trebek has to guest star.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I don't like either of these teams. This is going to be a terrible main event, I feel.
Maybe they'll put in Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt as a main event instead.
Can we just have a pay-per-view that is Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose?
60-minute Iron Man match.
60. Well, it's a 2 out of 3 60-man Iron Man match where each match of the 2 out of 3 is a 60-man Iron Man match.
In a cage.
Yeah.
And then that triple cell thing from WCW.
Oh god.
And the cage is electrified, guys.
God.
We're going into deathmatch territory here. The ropes are made out of barbed wire.
And somehow the Shockmaster is involved.
Sabu makes an appearance.
So overall, I think we're all on the same page. Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose is probably your match of the night, but you've also got the highlight of the tag team title matches because it's going to be a spot fest, and there are good wrestlers in that match. Everything else is kind of passable, missable. Survivor Series as a whole, probably one of the worst pay-per-views that WWE's put on this year. Would you agree with that?
Could be. It's got the potential.
Yeah, none of the matches are going to be bad, I don't think. But yeah, it's definitely not the best card that the WWE's put together on paper.
But that's not to say it would be actually be a bad card. I mean, there are other times we've looked at the card and went, "This is going to be craptastic," and actually was a good pay-per-view. So, I mean, they've been doing that a lot to us over the last couple of years.
And to be honest, it's not really their fault. I mean, this is kind of the best they can do with Reigns being out, Daniel Bryan is out, Punk's gone.
Lesnar is not wanting to be on TV.
Lesnar just wants to stay on his farm, and Heyman can't pull him out. So yeah, they're missing a lot of big names.
Right. And right now, I mean, we do have 6 matches. It's possible that we might get a 7th in there. But you got to assume that the main event's going to go about 30 minutes. The tag team title match may go 15 to 20 minutes. Wyatt versus Ambrose could easily go 20 minutes. So, I don't know. I think it's unlikely. We'll have another match. But if we do, whatever. It's going to be filler. I feel like I'm very down on this, and I am. But it is, I don't know. It's WWE right now.
Yep.
So
All right. Well, normally we would go to win fail here, but considering this is just the WWE Survivor Series show, and Nick and I didn't watch Raw, we really have nothing to win fail for WWE.
Well, we could fail the fact that TNA's no longer doing shows.
Well, that's TNA.
Win of the week is Hideo Itami and Finn Balor versus Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd. That was a pretty excellent match.
And it was.
Also, Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was freaking awesome in that match.
I've also heard good things about Cesaro versus Dolph versus Tyson Kidd from, I think, SmackDown.
Yep, I haven't been able to get through to that match yet, but yeah, I heard that was phenomenal, and I have to see it.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough. Alexa Bliss does a sunset flip powerbomb. It's awesome.
To the floor or inside the ring?
Inside the ring, but there's a GIF. I'm going to find it.
Okay. You do that.
I'll post it in chat.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I guess win of the week is I played Minecraft during Raw this week, and that was pretty fun. What did we watch? I watched something else. Oh, Trailer Park Boys. We're watching that.
That's classic.
Yeah. So that was nice. It was nice getting Monday off. Fail would be WWE not doing enough to make me want to watch WWE this week.
Fail, Grumpy Cat.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to go into specifics, it's Grumpy Cat for sure.
Fail, not having Larry the Cable Guy be the lead-in guest for Survivor Series. Really, they should have just brought on all of the Blue Comedy World Tour guys. Ron White would be awesome on WWE programming.
I think a fail could go to the fact that WWE couldn't sell this pay-per-view well enough. So, I mean, it's like, hey, we're going to give this pay-per-view for free, and then, well, here it is.
Nick, that list, the Bliss move there, that really looks like a modified version of the Canadian Destroyer.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also worth mentioning that Alexa got a nosebleed during the match. I guess she caught an elbow to the face or something, and the crowd started chanting EC Dub because she was just spraying blood.
Yeah. Now, did they show it?
You could see it in the closing moments of the match. Like, blood was just pouring out.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't really think we were going to do wins and fails, but let's go to the live chat with theirs. Fail, Grumpy Cat and Larry the Cable Guy. I agree with that. Sorry, Nick. Fail,
Tasteless.
fail, the WWE has to put on a pay-per-view like this because they put the world title on a part-timer, which I also can agree with. And I'm watching this Jeff now. Oh, yeah, that is a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, it's. I mean, instead of doing doing the standard setup, it's coming off the top rope.
Sasha
It's
Banks is fantastic. Like,
Yeah, she is.
I wish we could just move forward and get rid of all the divas that we have right now and just watch the women wrestlers of NXT. Well,
See,
and Paige.
her finishing move, the bank statement, that is an awesome submission maneuver.
Yeah. I'm scrolling through. We got some wins for TNA. Wins for NXT. Also had Zayn versus Neville. Damn it, I did it again. When I read it, for some reason I go with that pronunciation. I don't know why. WWE as a whole has failed. So, anyways, whatever. That's your WWE Survivor Series pre-show. Any final thoughts before we close out?
Neville's a son of a bitch.
Watch more in the future.
Okay. And that's the show. You can go check out ftwpodcast.com for more information about us and how to get involved in the future. And join us live each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ftwlive.com. For myself, Joe, Nick, everyone in the live chat, we will see you next Tuesday. Goodbye.
And a happy new year.